This is the NintenDUO Podcast, and today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 game card for the game prices. And I'm super excited. I'm Remco. This is Tycho over here. And so what are your thoughts about the game price? Are you excited? Are you sad?
I am excited to spend all my money on Nintendo game cards for the foreseeable future. Yes, €85, €95. It cannot be high enough.
Yeah.
No, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed, and I want to talk about that. And there was a lot of confusing stuff, or there is a lot of confusing stuff, what you know a little bit more about than me. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. And if you are watching this video, press like and maybe subscribe. That would help us out. So.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the game price as well. After the Nintendo Direct, they announced that the prices would be around 80 or we even saw $90 euros for the Mario Kart game. Donkey Kong was a little bit cheaper.
Donkey Kong was €70, and there was also a European website which showed Mario Kart for €90, and we are from Amsterdam, Europe, so that's why we're talking about euros. And we are shocked. So Mario Kart for us is €85, which is more than $80. And Donkey Kong is going to be €75, which is a little bit more than $70. So yes, we are in shock.
Yeah. Spicy prices, right?
Spicy prices, yes.
Yeah, because we were expecting like maybe 65, maybe 70. That would be more in range with what we thought. Also, if you compare like to the PlayStation 5 games, the Xbox games, and 70 would be like okay-ish, you know. But if we're going like 80, 85, or even 90, I know everybody's talking about drop the prices. Well, I'm not sure if Nintendo will do that.
I also think that they will not drop the price.
No.
Yeah. Oh. So we just have to accept it. It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said to you in a phone call a few days ago, there are some third-party games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch, like Hitman. What were the other ones? You know,
Elden Ring or
Elden Ring, Hitman, and there was another one. I was excited for this game. Split Fiction, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fiction, yeah. On
the PlayStation 5, here in the Netherlands, I see those games for €36, and one of them was 26. Yeah, but if it's gonna be on the Nintendo Switch, I think it's gonna be at least 60 or €70 for those games. You know. And yes, Nintendo Switch games have always been a little bit more expensive than PlayStation 4 games also. Had the same game. But now the difference is like half or one third. Like 26, compare that to 70. That makes me think like, okay, I don't want to play Split Fiction on the Nintendo Switch 2. As I wanted, what I said when we were reacting to this April 2nd Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I would rather buy a PlayStation 5 Pro and play it over there. And the same for Hitman and the same for Elden Ring. And it makes me just only want to buy Nintendo's first-party games on the Nintendo Switch 2. But so Street Fighter 6 is €60. That's interesting, actually. So let's see how much that one is on the PlayStation 5.
€60, yeah.
Yeah, for Street Fighter. Yeah, so that's a normal price, the price what we're used to.
Yeah, that's a normal price, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I just have to look it up for a few seconds.
Sure. No, but this is one of the things I was thinking of also, because those third-party games, if they're going to be cheaper on, let's say, PlayStation and Xbox, why should we buy them on the Nintendo Switch 2 then? For that price increase, does it give us anything extra, or is it exactly the same game that they're releasing? I think that the latter exactly.
Like the latter, or maybe even a little bit worse. Like because yeah, I mean graphic wise, you understand? Like because the Nintendo Switch 2 is of course nicely upscaled to 4K, but are the graphics the same as the PlayStation 5 Pro? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so.
No, the PlayStation is still a little bit better.
Yeah. So I found the price of Street Fighter 6 on the PlayStation 5. I scrolled it up so you don't see it. What do you think it's costing here in the Netherlands? Street Fighter 6 on the PS5. So for the Switch 2, it's €60. Like, okay, normal price, but for the PS5, it's a pretty new game, right? Like, it's not that old.
70 should go out, but it's probably lower.
Well, 70, yeah. That would be, but no, €28. So that's more than half. The same game, €28. Yeah.
28?
Yeah, that's Street Fighter 6 here. Yeah, the same game, Switch 2, 60, PS5, 28. I mean,
yeah.
So the decision is made.
It's a no-brainer, actually. Like,
I mean,
if you're gonna buy that game, and you already have a PlayStation, or
okay. So, but even if I don't have a PlayStation, I mean, so I was thinking, to buy Elden Ring, Hitman, Split Fiction, like on April 2nd on the Nintendo Direct. I thought, yeah, these are the games I'm excited for, right?
Yeah.
But now I think, okay, I just should also buy PS5 Pro, and then I'll just buy the games over there, because at the end I'll save way more money. It is like that. I mean, I'm gonna buy a lot of games upcoming years, and I mean, I can better buy them. This is the NintenDUO podcast. I'm still gonna buy the Nintendo Switch 2, but I'm now talking about third-party games over here. Yeah. I should not buy them on the Nintendo console because it's double or triple the price.
Why should you? Yeah.
And then the graphics are even less better also. So.
Yeah,
so
it's a no-brainer to get it on the PlayStation or maybe even the Xbox. Then
for example, the Xbox games, like Xbox is gonna support Nintendo Switch 2. So very nice, Phil Spencer, excited, this, that, blah blah blah. But there it's gonna be the same case, like Doom, the new Doom game. It's gonna be lower down in price probably on the PS5 and on the Xbox with Game Pass, but on the Nintendo Switch 2, we're gonna pay the full price, I guess.
Grab your wallet.
I mean, maybe this Street Fighter 6 game is going to be lowered in price in a few months, right? For the Nintendo Switch 2? Could be, huh? Maybe it's going to be...
Could be, not sure.
But at this... Now it's... Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. And not just Street Fighter. It's all third-party games. So... And if you do it like this... Then, okay, I will pay €90 for Mario Kart because I will buy less games for the Switch anyways. And I don't know. So you use that money, that you save on third-party games to buy the more expensive Nintendo games, I guess. Something like that.
Maybe that's the system. Maybe that's the logic behind it.
Yeah.
But that would be crazy. Like, but that's
it is crazy.
We're gonna do, I think, because
actually no one has been talking about this. I feel about this specific thing about the third-party games. I feel that I didn't hear anyone talk about this. No RDT85, Spawn Wave, Switch Force, beat 'em ups. No Keanu Reeves. Cyberpunk. I mean, same thing. Maybe it works on the PS5 even better. So why should how much is Cyberpunk on the PS5? Let's just let's quickly.
So Cyberpunk is also going to be like €80 on the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, okay, well, spicy price.
Okay.
And
€46.
46.
I mean, that's
almost
that's better. Yeah. I'd rather pay for the Ultimate Edition of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS5. So I feel like, all right.
Yeah, but is the Switch 2 version gonna give something exclusive, some real changes? It's the same game basically, right?
It's exactly the same game and a little bit less better, probably graphic-wise.
Maybe downgraded even a little bit.
I think so.
But you have the Nintendo logo.
You have the Nintendo logo. You have the cartridge.
The cartridge, yes.
And okay, there's one thing that we are forgetting. People on the Nintendo Switch, not us, but they take it with them, of course.
Yeah, that is an advantage. So
that's the advantage. You can pay double the price or triple the price, then you can take it with you and play it also on the train and in your bed. But that's the only thing I forgot, because especially me, I don't use the Switch undocked. I only use it docked. So For me it's a no-brainer indeed. Like you said, no-brainer to buy it on the PS5. But we're still a NintenDUO. Don't worry about that.
Still gonna buy Nintendo Switch 2. We're still gonna buy the real the premium Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not gonna buy all the games, not all the third-party games. Maybe one or two, but I don't know.
I mean, we can. Or we buy them on the PS5, discuss them, and then they're still playable. We can discuss these games even though we played them on another platform.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that, We can advise the people like, okay, you can. This new game is coming out. You can rather, you can pay €80 for it, or if you have a PS5, pay €40 or dollars.
Yeah, but maybe some people like to play certain games on certain consoles, like because of the controllers. The Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch 2 is better, or the one for the PlayStation 5 is better. And so like small changes, or for some people maybe big changes, to play a certain game on a certain console.
I feel like Street Fighter is actually one of those games that people want to play it with their probably PlayStation controller. Actually, they don't want to play it with the Switch controller. Probably.
Well, maybe we can switch to Pro controller.
You think so? Yeah, because those buttons are Because I'm thinking of GameCube, and then it was a little bit strange, like a big A, and people like my Turkish buddy Selahattin Kilic, for example, he would rather play with the X and the circle in a Street Fighter game. But anyways, we're more Smash Bros fans, as you can see right here. We got a little Dr. Mario over here. We got a little Ganondorf over there. Yes. Mario is turning his back towards Ganondorf as
expected.
As expected, but he's turning around. So very good.
One last thing I wanted to say about the new Nintendo Switch 2 games. You also have these these Nintendo Switch 1 versions. They're gonna be re-released for Nintendo Switch 2. Like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby's Forgotten Land, and also,
the rest is forgotten, yes.
Yeah, Mario Metroid Prime 4, but it's like a simultaneous release.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of confusion about what are these Switch 2 games based on the Switch 1 games. Well, people are saying, there was like a UK support, Nintendo support representative, sort of a rumor still, that it's a Nintendo Switch 1 game card that's inside. So the box is different. It's red. I think the game card itself is red, but it's basically it's almost exactly a Nintendo Switch 1 game card. And then included is a download link for the upgraded version to the Nintendo Switch 2 version. And you pay a little bit more money for that also. And what's the difference? Yeah. More money.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's
I don't
confusing.
understand. It is very confusing because for me it's very confusing because, as you said, and with this Kirby game, even someone was able to see how big it was, like the file size, right?
Yeah.
And it was exactly the same. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 file size. The cartridge. The Nintendo Switch 1 game card and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition game card. And then, so it's exactly the same file size, meaning even the graphical upgrade is downloaded, but I don't understand how that's not possible in my mind. And so what would happen if you put just a regular Nintendo Switch game card in your Switch? Like, for example, and every time when I'm trying to think of games, I think of somehow every time Peach, Showtime, and Toad's Treasure Trackers, but I just want something else now. Okay, so no, that's too big. Okay. Something like a normal game, like Luigi's Mansion 3. Okay, so cool. Something else for a change. Okay, so Luigi's Mansion 3, I got the game. What if I put it in the Nintendo Switch 2? Will the graphics be a little bit enhanced? Because probably not, or yes, or maybe yes, but with this Kirby, I don't understand, like, The file size is exactly the same. So the only thing that you download is the extra island or extra level or something.
Yeah.
But with Zelda, then, okay, Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's no extra content, but there's a graphical upgrade. But there it's also the same. Like you download the graphical upgrade, but I don't understand really. You understand? Like it should already work without this download. So I think maybe the only thing you download is some kind of
like maybe extension or something. So little.
No, not an extension. I feel like you download some kind of key that allows the game to show the upgraded graphics. You understand? Like because I think that every game for the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 1 game, so I feel like every Nintendo Switch 1 game that you put in the Nintendo Switch 2 is able to show these upgraded graphics, but maybe somehow it's restricted unless you download this key that unlocks that, and then the Nintendo Switch 2 shows those graphics. You know, it's like a filter almost, but. So you only download the little that the Switch 2 is allowed to. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, what they're allowed to show.
Yeah.
But maybe it's possible for every Switch 1 game.
It is probably every Switch 1 game.
Yeah.
It's the same as when you put a PS1 game in a PS2. It was automatically, nicer, right? Like, okay, looks better. But I think, like, now they're on purpose holding it back. Like, okay, no, it's just going to be the same. Maybe, huh? Unless you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which means just, download code or something.
Just a download code.
Just a download code. And maybe on top of that, like, Super Mario Party Jamboree, they added a lot of stuff. Forgotten Land, they added a lot of stuff. But what about Breath of the Wild? Huh? So they didn't add a lot of stuff. And, in Tears of the Kingdom, they added the GPS, Zelda, TomTom, Zelda, Google Maps, All right. But nothing else is added. So that's why I feel it's maybe like this. And if it is like this, that would be very, very nasty of Nintendo. Very nasty, very greedy. That would be very nasty. Yeah. No, I mean it. If it's like that. I can't believe it actually, that it is like that. It's just a theory now. It cannot be like this because that would be too nasty. I mean it. Yeah. It should be automatically. So, or maybe every game is automatically already a little bit upgraded, in graphical enhancement. Like, okay, looks a little bit better. But if you then download this code, I'm saying code, but I mean like some.
Yeah, the download link.
There's some
conversion or the.
Yeah, there's some. I mean some code that the Switch 2 unlocks the full power. So maybe first you only use like 9%. His power level is only on 9%. At first. But maybe, so it is a little bit better, but just 9% better. But if you want to have the 100%, better version, then you have to download the code, and then the Switch 2 suddenly unlocks the other 91%. Something like that.
Yeah, pay the extra money, get the download link.
Yep. What do you feel about this this theory? Because now while filming this, I get this idea, and I think this is maybe it is like this. This is the truth. Back to you, Remco-chan.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, it sounds plausible, but why would they do that like that? That's...
Money.
Yeah, I know.
Money.
I know for the money, of course, but you have like a true fan
1
base.
for the money, a 2 for the show, a 3 for Nintendo, and go, let's go home. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're already asking so much for the new games already, like... Why screw people over also for the Nintendo Switch 2 or the Switch 1 games for the Switch 2? And like, come on, you can also make it a little bit more cheaper or say, well, buy the Switch 1 version and we give you the download link for maybe €10 or something because the technology is already inside there.
Yeah, but that's...
Because it's already backwards compatible, right? It's,
Yeah, it is backwards compatible, so... Is it going to be a little bit better, yes or no? That's the only question now I have. And is it going to be 9% better?
Or
but also, like you said, you just now said, or the download code for €10 or something. That's what you said, or $10.
Yeah, $10 or something.
But isn't it like this now?
Yeah, but then it's more like a DLC. Like, okay, well, it's a DLC. But now they're promoting it as it is like a new game. Like, oh, it's a new game. Well, it's upgraded and you get better graphics, better this, better that, and you can play it on the Switch too.
But wait, what is the DLC then in this case? For example, in Zelda, you mean the DLC is the graphical upgrade?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be insane. If that's the DLC, you understand? Like that's not DLC.
No, that's not DLC.
It's not, in my definition, DLC. DLC is like an extra island, or extra something new.
Yeah,
if it's but a graphical upgrade is not DLC. So if it's like that, you pay €10 extra for the DLC, which is not DLC. Well, that would be again nasty.
Yeah, but that's what I'm hearing also from people. Like, that may be the case, but that would be nasty. Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, so...
yeah.
Anyways, I'm also, like, there's not one Nintendo Switch 1 game that I would rebuy, as a Nintendo Switch 2 game. Maybe only Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because it doesn't work on Nintendo Switch 1. Unless the Nintendo Switch 1 version works on Nintendo Switch 2, which it should, because... the processor and everything is better in Nintendo Switch 2, so it should not get stuck. Yeah. Well.
Well, I think we have to save up some money, I think, for the Nintendo Switch 2 games.
Yeah. And the PS5. We have to buy a PS5 as well
PS5,
to buy those other games, the third-party games. Yeah. And just only Nintendo Switch 1 exclusive games. But
so that's
with this system, with this, if Nintendo continues to do this, really, what they do is that at the end, less and less people will buy their third-party games, third-party games on the system, meaning that also third parties are like, okay, we're going to support Nintendo less and less, it's going to be like that. It's like the same as the last 20, 30 years, how it is. Nintendo's getting less support from third parties, and with this, they're still getting less support.
Yeah, and their AAA games have to be like really good.
Yeah, but they're cutting themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Because the third parties are gonna go, because it costs money to make those. I don't know how much it costs, but it's a little bit more hassle to make it on a cartridge than on a disc, right? The game, and to downgrade those games so it works on Nintendo Switch 2. And like this, who is gonna buy those third-party games? Well, only the people that really want to take it on the go. Like, okay, I want to play Cyberpunk in the train, and they don't have a Asus ROG Ally or whatever those other things are called, because people who do have those other portable systems, right? From Asus and the other ones, the same games they can take portable. They're much cheaper also on there. You understand? Like, it's PC games. So again, like. We're not thinking about, okay, you want to take it on the go, you can also buy this other system and then take it on the go, but all right.
Yeah.
Difficult. So
difficult time.
But how is Nintendo gonna solve this? Yeah, what's gonna be the solution to this confusion?
Yeah, I think they're still thinking about it. But
yeah, but the price is made. The price is online. Like, they're thinking about it because.
Yeah, but also the pre-order price. It's not definite prices because I see different prices every time. Like, okay, what's it gonna be? Most prices are still in range with what Nintendo told us, but
okay, so
eventually it's up to the retailers to make the final price.
Yeah, but the game prices. Mario Kart is gonna be €85. Nintendo put it on their website, right? Like, Mario Kart is $80, and then they decide in Europe, okay, let's add €5 more. And I guess maybe in Finland and Iceland it's even more, probably.
Yeah,
like in Norway, because so poor Vetle. Yeah,
it's hard being a gamer. It's a hard life.
Yeah, especially when you play Ganondorf in Smash Brothers and Dr. Mario's beating your ass again and again. Yes, go away, Yuki-chan. It's time to leave. It's time for the showdown.
But she's
So-
still there.
I think we talked enough about these damn prices.
Yeah.
The price is not right. That's the conclusion of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also curious to know what the audience thinks. What would be the ideal price also for a Nintendo Switch 2 game? Like for the game cartridge and the digital version, because different prices also.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below. And please like, subscribe, and we'll see you the next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.